Hi and welcome back to That Office Guy, and today we're going to go through how to use the new Microsoft lists for the iOS and Android devices. This is a fantastic new app that's being created by Microsoft to allow us access to those SharePoint and Microsoft Teams lists from your mobile devices. So we're going to get into how to do this, how to set it up on your phone, and how to start utilizing these lists within your iOS device. If you find this video useful, do go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all of That Office Guy videos that we do here. Okay, with all that said, let's jump on over and take a look at how to do this. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is actually just head on over to our iOS device. So I've just got my phone here. And what we're going to do is the first thing is actually head over to the App Store itself. From the App Store, we're going to go over to the search function in the bottom right hand side and just click on search. We're going to search for Microsoft lists. Okay, we can see it comes up in the menu here. We're just going to click that. Then the very first option should be this one here, which is Microsoft Lists. What we're going to do is click Get, and this is hopefully going to then just download the application. I'll just quickly approve that. And that's going to download the Microsoft Lists application to my mobile phone. From here, it's well worth just pointing out that you can only really utilize this particular application if you have a work or education approved Microsoft 365 license. If you have a personal account or a family account, it will not work. However, for your work emails and email accounts, you will be able to utilize this. So a work or education 365 account is required. Now just wait for this thing to finally complete the download, and then once that is done, we're going to hop on back down to our desktop here on the phone itself. So we're going to just scroll over and wait for this thing to actually get added. Once we have the application, we're going to go ahead and just click on this, and it's going to load up the Microsoft Lists application. And the first thing it's going to want us to do is actually sign in. So I'm going to sign in with my That Office Guy email address. Okay, and we're just going to go through the motions here. And now it's going to show me all of the lists that are associated with this particular account. In this particular example within Microsoft Teams, we already have a live streams list, okay? And we can go ahead and click this, and it's going to load up all of the various different items that we had inside of our list. And we can obviously scroll to the right, and we can see all the various tracking information, right? So we have the date that was supposed to happen. We see who it was assigned to, whether it's been set up, all the various different elements of our list straight away. We can also go ahead and click into it, and we get more of a view. And this is a fantastic application that really allows us to easily navigate to list items and alter and edit them as needed, straight from your mobile device. But this app does a little bit more than just that as well. Straight away, we can see a few additional settings here within this application. We obviously have the Home tab at the bottom, the New button, and the My List. Currently, we're sat on the Home tab, where we can search for various different lists within our organization that we're actually allowed to see. But we can actually go ahead and click on the New button, and this allows us to create a new list. We can start a blank list, or we can use the standard templates that are also inside Microsoft Teams. So we can see things like expense trackers, issue trackers, employee onboarding, event itinerary. We also have asset management. We also have the recruitment tracker, travel requests, and even a work progress tracker. So straight away, it's very simple and slick to go ahead and add a new list in this app. That again synchronizes with everything else 365. So a list created in this app will also synchronize directly to all of your Microsoft Teams as well as your SharePoint. So lots going on there. Obviously, we have the button for My Lists as well. So we do not have any lists myself, but they would appear here if we had them. So lots of great functionality inside this one singular application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead here and just click on the Create. I'm going to create the new blank list. I'm going to just call this a test. And it's basically a video test. Okay, so that's my description. I'm going to give it a green, and I'm going to give it a calendar view there, and I'm going to add it to my list, but I could also choose where else I might like to send it, right? So as we have a couple of different YouTube channels here, we can see I could send it to the Cheeky Crypto channel, or I could send it to that Office Guy channel. So I'm going to click on that Office Guy. That's where I'm going to save it. Or if I really wanted to, I could just save it to my list. It could be a list specifically for me, and in which case I could do that too. So in this example, I'll click on my lists and then click create in the top right hand corner here. That's going to go ahead and create my list, my test list, and it is saved directly into, if I just go back one screen, my lists just down here. So whilst in here, we can see that we have basically just a single column at the moment, which is the title, and we can go ahead and add additional columns. So again, like we do have with SharePoint and Microsoft Teams, we also have the ability here to add in multiple different things. We could do single line text, multi-line text, locations, numbers, yes, no, choices, lots of different options as well, which is fantastic. My personal favorites are multi-line text, person, date, choice. I much prefer choice rather than yes or no. Currency is also a great one, and as is location. I rarely use number or hyperlinks, but sometimes they are also very, very useful. So for this particular column, I'm just going to go ahead and click on person, and I'm going to just say assigned. Okay, and then we obviously have that as a person. I'm just going to click tick on that and confirm it. So now we have basically two columns, a title and an assigned to list. So once you've you've populated all of your columns, it's very simple to go ahead and actually add a new item into your list as well. There's a little plus icon in the bottom left hand corner. We can go ahead and click that, and it's going to ask for us to populate all of those fields. So straight away we have a test title, and I'm just going to type in test to keep it simple. Hit the tick button on that. We're going to come down and assign it to someone. This time we have to search for our organization of people who are allowed to see this list and who we could be assigned into this particular item. So I'm going to go ahead and find myself. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And if I wanted to, I could also add Chris, but it's a single person. We did not enable multi-person selection here. So I'm just going to go with one person, which is myself. I'm going to go ahead and tick that. And if I wanted to, I could add attachments at this point as well, which is really, really useful. I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and actually hit the tick button at the top there and OK that in. Now we have our first item here. We can see it's a test item and it's assigned to myself, which is really, really cool. So that's how you would integrate with a new list. And again, if we were to go back to our home tab here, we can now see both those lists of recent. Go into the live stream, so we can come into this particular one for SingularityNet. We can see when that was supposed to happen, and we see it hasn't been processed, but actually it has. So I'm going to go ahead and update that and click yes. Now, this is why I much prefer to use choice fields rather than yes, no fields. It's because I can use the pill formatting, so I can format the colors accordingly. I find that a nice, useful way to kind of, at a glance, see quite quickly your yeses and your nos. So once you're happy with the edit, I'm going to go ahead and tick that. And now we have that edited in, and we can see a load of yeses across our columns. I can go back, and that's now bringing us back to the home menu. So very, very straightforward, very, very easy to use app, very intuitive. And ultimately, this could be something absolutely fantastic for a lot of your colleagues who are out there, out on the road. Maybe they're more mobile colleagues, and they utilize things like iPads or iPhones more than they do a laptop, for example. And sometimes accessing lists via Teams on a mobile device is actually harder. So actually having a list independent of that is a fantastic step forward. So yeah, guys, that is how you would utilize the new Microsoft Teams lists directly from your iOS device. If you have found this useful, do go ahead and hit that like button. It really does mean a lot to the channel. And if you're not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at That Office Guy. And with all of this said, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.